Good morning. I have another couple of books I wanted to read to you. This week we are going to be starting our butterfly units. Today the children are going to be getting their kits. We have our caterpillars that have come in and we have our habitats that you can set up. I have set up my habitat like this. And inside the habitat you can see is my cup full of caterpillars. I don't have to do anything to it other than leave it in the habitat. And you can observe the caterpillars as they get bigger and bigger. Today they're quite tiny. I can take them out, show them to you. Some of you chose not to get this kit sent home, but I think most everybody did. So you can see these caterpillars are actually quite tiny, about the size of an ant. However, they're already twice as big as they were yesterday when they came in the mail. They grow really, really fast. I'm going to put this back in here. You don't want to shake your jar around. Please do not take the lid off until I tell you to, which is after they create their cocoons up on the top of this jar. And everything they need, food and everything, is already in here. So we're going to leave that inside our net. When your habitat comes, it is collapsed. It's very easy. Just remove the Velcro and it will pop right up. And then you can use that Velcro that held it down for a little carrying handle and just put it on a windowsill. Leave it someplace where the kids don't touch it. All right, until we go to observe it. And then I have some butterfly journal that I'm going to send you home the materials for. The first thing you're going to do is open up your packet. And you're going to take out page 1. And on yours, it says butterfly journal by, and there's a line for you to write your name. I didn't do it on my sample, but on yours it has that. So I want you to take off the front page and glue it to the front of your journal. When you glue it on, try to glue it nice and straight so it will look kind of like this. And then your pages will be inside your journal. The first page for the Monarch Butterfly unit is on blank day, so you can write the day. You can either write Sunday or Monday, or you can write 3/29 or 3/28, whatever day it was. I received my caterpillars. They were this big, and then I want you to draw. If they were only teeny weeny like this, just draw a little tiny black line in that space there. On this day, my caterpillars were this big. You can do as many of these pages as you want. I only gave you one, but you can make copies of it if you want to make recordings every day. Or you can just wait till your caterpillars are big. They're going to get to be about this big. So then you can draw a picture of that. Your line's going to be much bigger for those caterpillars. Then on this day, you're going to fill in the date. My caterpillars climbed to the top of the jar onto the lid. And you're going to draw a picture of that. So you'll draw your jar in here. And then you'll draw little caterpillars hanging down from the top. When they first hang down, they're kind of curled like this. And then a little tiny piece of them drops off. I don't really know what that is that drops off, but you'll see a little piece falls on the ground. Don't be afraid when you see that. It's just something they have to shed. I think it's a piece of their skin or something. They shed it so that they can get ready to make their cocoon. Then on this day, my caterpillars started to shake. So you'll see that the caterpillars start shaking after they get to the top and they're curved a little bit. And as they're shaking, they're spinning a little cocoon around themselves, or they're transforming this into this cocoon type thing. And you'll see that shake, 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 shake. And then they'll start to look like there's little like brown shell around them almost. So you can draw a picture of that. But don't be afraid if they're shaking. They're not in pain and they're not having a problem. That's just what they do. Then on this day, we took the top off our cup and we placed it in the stand inside the habitat. So you'll see there's a little stand that I gave you that came in that kit. And when you take the top off, just take it off carefully. They will shake a little bit. Sometimes one falls off, not usually. Turn it sideways and stick it in that stand and put the stand back in the habitat and zip it up. And that's all you have to do for now. And then you can draw a picture of that. And then when they start emerging, you can draw a picture of them, what happens when they started to crawl out of that little shell that they made for themselves, that little cocoon. And then when you get ready to let your butterflies go, you can take a picture or a video and you can send it to me, or you can take a picture and you can glue it into your journal. And that way you'll have a log of how long it took to go from caterpillar to butterfly. Okay? So that's that. That's in your science journal. So today I'm going to read you a couple books about butterflies. This one is called A Caterpillar Grows Up. Look, a caterpillar. The caterpillars you get are kind of a black, sort of fluffy looking caterpillar. They're not as colorful as this. The ones I saw in the catalog look like this, but yours will not look like that. Don't be afraid. It's still the right thing. What will it be? What will it grow up to be? Look, he's munching on the leaves. Did you know butterflies are insects? A butterfly. It's going to grow up to be a butterfly. And we're studying insects this month. You guys have a bug kit that went home this month too. And you're going to be comparing bugs and drawing pictures of bugs and counting legs of bugs. The mother butterfly lays her eggs on a leaf. See these little tiny eggs? They're really tiny. They're about the size of a little piece of rice that's not even cooked yet. The eggs are tiny. The eggs hatch. See, after they have the eggs, they start to crawl out. And there he is, little tiny caterpillar looking up. He just crawled right out of his little shell there. I'm bringing it in closer so you can see. Out comes tiny caterpillars. Did you know the new caterpillars are very hungry? First, the new caterpillar eats its own eggshell. Isn't that funny? It ate its own shell. Then it starts to eat the leaves. I think it probably just eats anything that's in front of it. The caterpillar has a mouth and strong jaws. When its mouth is open, it looks like this. When it's closed, it looks like that. And 6 eyes on each side. When you look at this, see these little kind of red freckles? Those are all the eyes. They have 6 eyes on each side. They have a total of 12 eyes. Boy, they can see really well. If we had 12 eyes, we'd be able to see a lot more than we see now. The caterpillar grows quickly. It wiggles out of its old skin 4 or 5 times. So you might see its little skin on the bottom of your habitat. It's just the way it sheds its skin. One day the caterpillar stops eating. It hangs on a branch. Remember I said, well, out in the wild, it would be hanging on a branch like this or, on a tree. But when we have it in our habitat, it's going to hang on the top of that lid. Okay? And then when you transfer your lid, first it looks like this. And then see how it starts to spin a little shell around itself? It builds a shell around its body. The shell is called a chrysalis. The caterpillar is now in the pupa stage. Pupa. Can you say that? Pupa. The caterpillar slowly changes. You'll see how it starts to get, you can almost see the butterfly inside. You can see the colors starting to show through. That paper shell that it spins around itself, it actually is quite thin, and after it comes out, you can just see a little bit left, almost like the material that a beehive's made out of. And then it is transformed into a butterfly. The butterfly spreads its wings. In the beginning, the butterfly's wings are wet and they need to dry. So it's really important that you don't try to touch them because they're very fragile. And then away it flies. It's going to take the better part of a day to dry its wings. You might see red dripping liquid on the side of the netting inside your habitat. It's not blood. It's just the drying of the wings. It's kind of like the juice of the wings that's drying. It's not anything to be afraid of. It's not dirty. It's not dangerous. It just looks a little kind of gross. And after you let your butterflies go, you can just wash that off with soap and water and dry it for next year. Each caterpillar grows into its own kind of butterfly. This is a painted ladybug caterpillar. Learns into a painted ladybug butterfly. Your caterpillars are going to look a little bit more like this. This is a monarch caterpillar, and we are doing a monarch butterfly unit, but for some reason our caterpillars look more like this. This is a red admiral caterpillar, turns into a red admiral butterfly. Here's a cabbage white caterpillar, turns into a cabbage white butterfly. I wonder if they call it cabbage white, because I see some yellow butterflies in my garden every year, and they go crazy over the cabbage. And they go crazy over it. They lay all their eggs on it, and then you see little caterpillars on it, and you have to go out and pick them off. A butterfly flies from flower to flower. It sips nectar from the flower like you sip juice out of a juice box. Did you know nectar is a sweet liquid inside the flowers? In winter, some butterflies fly to warm places. They come back in the spring. One day you may see a caterpillar begin to change. Watch and see what happens. And you guys will see that happen right before your eyes. And here's the next book called Fly, Monarch, Fly. One blue sky day late summer, Mom and Dad asked, "Who wants to go to the butterfly place to visit the monarchs?" Me, says Minna. Me, says Pip. It's a little rabbit family with Minna and Pip are the children. I guess they're going to go to the butterfly place. Let's see what they see. They ride their bikes to butterfly place. The summer air smelled flower sweet. The late summer sun warmed them. Look, who's following them to the butterfly place? Do you think the butterflies are following, or do you think they're already there? Butterfly place, where monarchs begin. They were greeted by Butterfly Man. "Hello, I'm Bert. Welcome to Butterfly Place and the Milkweed Meadow." "Hi, Bert," said Minna and Pip. "It's a great day for egg hunt," said Bert. "An egg hunt?" asked Minna. "Yes, let's go look for butterfly eggs," said Bert. He handed them a magnifying glass. "You'll need these because female monarch egg isn't much bigger than the head of a pin." Minna started singing, "A-hunting we will go, a-hunting we will go. Hi-ho the dairy-o, a-hunting we will go." So they needed a magnifying glass. So it is actually smaller than a grain of rice, much smaller, just like the edge of the head of a pin. And they're going to go look under the leaves of a milkweed plant. Milkweed plants look like this, and that's the only place that monarch butterflies lay their eggs. "Look, Minna, I'm an egg," shouted Pippa. Look, she stuck her head through the head of an egg. "See if you can find a tiny egg on the underside of these milkweed leaves," said Bert. They lifted and looked. "I found one," said Minna. "It looks like a tiny igloo." "It does," said Bert. "The female butterfly looks for a healthy, tender milkweed plant. She lays only one egg at a time. Guess how many eggs she lays altogether?" I know, said Minna. "More than 400. I read that in my butterfly book." Wow, 400 eggs. That'd be a lot of caterpillars and a lot of butterflies. Bert took a picture out of his big blue bag. When an egg is ready to hatch, a teeny tiny caterpillar nibs a hole in the eggshell and wiggles out. The eggshell is the teeny tiny caterpillar's first meal. "Ew," said Minna. "Sounds crunchy," said Dad. Bert took out a ruler with pictures on it to see out of his big blue bag. The teeny tiny caterpillar munches milkweed a day and night with his very strong jaws, said Bert, and it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what your caterpillar is going to do, get bigger and bigger and bigger. You could hold a ruler up near the caterpillar habitat and see, how big you think it is. Maybe you could try to measure it. Minna read, "Milkweed leaves provide food and protection. Milkweed has a poison in it, but they don't hurt the caterpillar. If another animal or bird tries to eat the caterpillar, the poison makes it taste terrible, and the caterpillar's yellow, white, and black pattern tells predators to stay away." "Look," said Pip, "now I'm a caterpillar. And I'm a bird who wants to eat you up," said Dad. "Stay away, bird, stay away." What did the monarch caterpillar say to another monarch caterpillar? Answer. I want some chocolate, milkweed. That's a joke. I found a caterpillar, said Minna. It's yellow and black and white. Do you see the long black antenna or feelers on the head and the short antenna on the rear, asked Bert. Yes, said Minna. Near the head, do you see 3 pairs of small tree legs to walk with? Small true legs to walk with? 1, 2, 3, Minna counted. I see more legs in the back. They're stubby. Those are claspers, said Bert. The caterpillar uses them to grip leaves. Cool, said Minna. Bert looked in his big blue bag. Who wants to molt? Me, shouted Minna. Do you know what molting is? You're going to find out. Here, try this costume on, said Bert. Look, they're putting on a costume. Looks kind of like pajamas. See? So they look like a caterpillar. Now you're a caterpillar, Minna, said Pip. A caterpillar eats and grows, said Bert, but its skin doesn't. So when the caterpillar grows too big for its outer skin, the tight skin splits open, and the caterpillar wiggles and wriggles right out. Underneath, there's a brand new, larger skin. Shedding skin is called molting. The caterpillar usually molts 4 times. When this happens, then what happens, Bert asked Minna. So that's why you're going to see that piece of skin on the bottom that looks like it's part of the caterpillar that dropped off. It's just the way he molted. I used to think it was like a piece of the caterpillar that fell off, but it's really just the molted skin. Bert reached into his big blue bag. He pulled out a stuffed animal caterpillar. The fuffly grown caterpillar finds a safe place under a twig or leaf. Then it spins a silk pad using a special gland in its mouth, called the spinners. The caterpillar digs the tiny hooks onto the rear end of the pad and swings head down. If you can get the hooks into the white pad on this twig. We did it, yelled Minna and Pip. Bert took another picture out of his big blue bag. The caterpillar sheds its skin for the last time. What happens next, Bert asked Dad. Follow me, said Bert. So that was when it shed it for the last time. You'll probably see pieces on the ground that are smaller when it first was shedding it, but they're so small you won't notice what it is. But when it's really big and it sheds it, you can really see it. It's not a caterpillar anymore, said Bert. It's a chrysalis or a pupa. I see, Pippa, said Minna. And a tent. Let's go look in. Underneath the tent was a long table. On the table were 3 glass aquariums with net tops. Minna peered inside the first aquarium. Pupa tent. It shelters the pupa from the sun's heat. That's why it's important they are underneath a leaf, and the way we're doing it, the top of your lid of your jar becomes the leaf that it actually attaches itself to, so that it's protected from the sun. I see something that looks like a beautiful green jewel, said Minna. Bert said, that's a pupa. Amazing changes are happening inside. Minna looked in the second aquarium. Wow, wings. So the butterfly starts growing wings inside the pupa, and they're able to see it in this picture, but you can't really see that until it's just about ready to come out. When she looked in the third aquarium, Minna shouted, a butterfly! Bert said, the butterfly works very hard to wriggle out. Then it pumps blood into its damp, crumpled wings until they unfold. What happens next? Bert asked Pip. The butterfly rests in the sun for a few hours or so. Its wings will dry and harden. It's very important not to touch the butterfly until the wings have completely hardened, said Bert. Let's go out into the butterfly garden. Oh, I forgot to tell you to be on the lookout for Big Sweetie. Big Sweetie, shouted Minna and Pip. So it still kind of looks like a caterpillar under there, except it's got these wings now, right? Is this Big Sweetie? Asked Minna. No, said Bert, but you're getting closer. Butterfly, butterfly, flutter by butterfly. Flit, fly, and flutter by. Flitting, flying butterfly. Say it fast 3 times. I don't think I could. The poisons from eating milkweed in the larva caterpillar stage are still in the adult butterfly's body. The milkweed poisons now help protect the butterfly. If a bird takes a bite of the butterfly's wing, the poisons will make the bird sick. An amazing change from egg to larva. It's called metamorphosis. Mom and Dad called Minna, Pip, come over here. Minna stood very still. She whispered, this butterfly is drinking nectar. What's nectar, Minna? Whispered Pip. Sweet flower juice. I read that in my butterfly book. Can you see the proboscis? Asked Bert. It's like a built-in drinking straw. A butterfly drinks nectar with its proboscis, which I told you is like your straw in your sippy cup or your sippy juice box. The proboscis curls up when the butterfly isn't drinking. See, like a pipe cleaner. And then when he wants to eat, it goes out straight. A pretend proboscis for Minna and one for Pip. Oh, like when you have those blow things and you blow it and it goes out and then it curls back up. They're saying that that's kind of what it looks like. Can I keep the pretty blowers? I mean the proboscis, asked Minna. You sure can, said Bert. Let's keep strolling. Here's Big Sweetie. Dad read another sign. A butterfly compound's eyes are made up of lots of little eyes. Butterflies can see more colors than any other creature on Earth. A butterfly smells with its feelers and tastes with its feet. What if you had to taste your food with your feet? Isn't that funny? Minna and Pip put on wings. When the cold weather arrives, says Bert, millions of monarch butterflies fly south to Mexico and Southern California. They spend the winter where it's warmer. This journey is called migration. Monarchs migrate thousands of miles. Look, when the monarchs arrive in Mexico, Southern California, they cluster in trees in cool, moist places. They are much less active during the winter months, and in the spring, the males and females fly north again. On their journey, they drink nectar and water. They mate, and then the females lay eggs. They stop to rest along the way. Look at this. It's a tree. It looks like branches, but if you look really close, it's all monarch. It's all monarch butterflies. Imagine if you saw a tree covered with monarch butterflies. That's a long way to go for a butterfly, said Minna. How do monarchs know how to get there, Bert? They use their wind to help them. The antenna help them know how strong the wind is blowing and which direction it's coming from. Monarchs migrate farther than any other kind of butterfly. Minna and Pip gave back their wings. Oh, one more thing, said Bert. What if my last name was Erfly? Minna thought for a minute. Then your name would be Bert Ifly. They all laughed. We had a great time. Thanks, Bert. Bert said, hope to see you again soon. Joke. Why did the butter jump off the table? Answer. I wanted to be a butterfly. All right. These are some activities for you to do, but I already gave you an activity to do for your butterfly. I gave you a butterfly that was cut out. It's orange, and then I want you to take a picture of your butterfly from your science journal, and I want you to try to color your butterfly to look like the monarch butterfly that's here. And then I want you to send me a picture of it. I can't wait to see what you do.